Daniel Summerhays is calling it quits on his golf career. That means he's been playing a while, and that means I've just gotten older. So he almost had a dream finish yesterday, had a 62 to get into a three-way playoff, came up just a little short, but a good way to end it and do it kind of in his own backyard up at Oak Ridge on the Corn Ferry Tour. And Daniel Summerhays joins us right now on the Bill Riley Show. Dan, how are you?
I'm doing great, Bill. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for making me feel old yesterday by retiring from golf.
It sounds weird for me to say it, so you're not the only one. I can't really get myself to say it full on, but because it does. It makes me feel like I'm not taking the right step.
Well, you remember that summer that I just referenced, right? I mean, it probably seems like yesterday when you won the state am for a second time back in 2001. How is that possible? That was 19 years ago.
Oh, somebody said, oh, yeah, isn't that cool that it's 20 years to the date that you won your first state am at Oak Ridge. I was like, holy cow, you're right, Back in 2000, I won the first of the two state ams. And but I tell you what, 36, I feel young in my mind, but the body still hurts. I'm trying to figure that out. I might have to get some new supplements.
Well, yeah, the supplements will help, buddy, but I'm just going to tell you, Father Time's undefeated, and it'll get a little bit better with the supplements, but it's not going to get any easier on the body, that's for sure. So what went in? I mean, obviously, we'll talk about the tournament in a second, but why did you feel like now was the right time? I know you're going to go be teaching and coaching up at Davis High, but why was it now that felt like the right time for you?
A few reasons. I think first off, I like to say it bigger, faster, stronger. The guys on tour, they came out with the driver and the distance study that the USGA came out with, and saying the guys are hitting it too far. They keep hitting it too far, and it's like, yeah, the ball's going forever. And the PGA Tour said, it's not the golf ball's fault. It's that on average, every player is 3 inches taller than they were 15 years ago, and they're this much bigger, and they're faster. They swing it faster, and honestly, the kids keep getting younger too. I think the instruction has improved. The mental side of the game has improved. And the kids coming up, they are just more prepared to take on the challenges of the PGA Tour and professional golf. So I think that's one, is honestly, I'm kind of getting phased out and kind of some old meat a little bit when it comes down to it. And to maintain that level takes more and more and more effort. You need better and better supplements every different month and year to keep it going. So that's honestly part of it. I do think I could continue to compete, but the amount of effort that it would require would probably be more of a time commitment than I want to give to it, and that takes me to point two, because of my family. I have 4 kids. I've got 3 boys and a girl, ages 12 to 5, and man, I love seeing them grow up. Sometimes you want to pull your hair out, but I do love watching them in all their activities, and I love, I used to love Saturdays and Sundays for a different reason, because it meant I was playing on the weekend and having a chance to win. But now I love Saturdays and Sundays because of all the things I get to watch my kids do. And I started thinking, well, my oldest son's 12, and age 18, he's out of the house to college, and I've got 6 years with him, and that doesn't sound like that much time. So that was factor number 2, and then number 3 was I just have so many different interests. I feel like I love golf, but I love so many other things. And one of the things I love to do is to learn and to teach what I learn. And so a lot of doors opened up and opportunities presented themselves, and I just felt like with the way the other 2 were going, that now was the time to walk through those doors.
We can say it now, at least for now. Former tour pro, Daniel Summerhays with us here on the Bill Riley Show today on ESPN 700. So are you closing the door completely, or are you going to keep it open and maybe play some select events in the summertime and things like that and just be maybe a part-time guy, or is this it?
It's a perfect question because this is going to be the shortest retirement ever because I'm actually going to play the Colorado Championship starting on Wednesday in Colorado because I've got my summers off, So
yeah.
I might as well go play in tournaments and make a little side hustle that all of us educators need to make. But yeah, so I'm going to probably drive out to Colorado tonight, and so I'll play a few more now that I have some status. But once that school bell rings, I think that's right where you'll find me still.
Sounds good. Daniel Summerhays with us here. So walk me through the round yesterday. You were not necessarily in winning contention for a while. You know the course. You've won there before. You've played there a million times. So walk me through going into Sunday, what it was like yesterday, and when you felt like you had a pretty good round going.
Yeah, going back to Saturday, I actually hit it really nice on Saturday, and the putter just kind of went cold a little bit. I missed 5 putts within 10 feet for birdie, and some of those were 6-footers as well. And so Saturday's round could have been a really nice score. But going into Sunday, I was honestly a little more nervous because I just wanted to end it the right way. I wanted to play well. Going into the week, I was like, well, if I make the cut, that would be pretty sweet. That would mean I played some good golf.
Right.
And then I made the cut, and I was like, well, let's keep shooting under par. Let's keep it in the 60s, for all these rounds. And sure enough, I did that. And then I started making a couple birdies on the front 9, and I made birdie on number 9. And I said, well, we're kind of just close enough to maybe do something extraordinary. And I threw together a couple more birds, and then I caught fire with eagle birdie on 15, 16, 17. But going into the back 9, I actually legitimately felt like I had a chance to win and do something really special. So I think the critical moment of that back 9 yesterday was on number 13. I was at 5 under, and I was at 16 under total. The leaders were at 17 starting the day, and I said I had 4-iron out, and it's a dogleg right par 4, and the wind was howling off the right. You could push it into the trees or out of bounds pretty easy on the left. And I had 4-iron out to just hit it in the middle of the fairway and hit a 9-iron or 8-iron up onto the green. And I said, no, what am I doing? I got absolutely nothing to lose here. Let's go. So I pulled out the driver, and I hit the perfect little fade driver up against the wind right in the middle of the fairway, had a gap wedge in, hit it to 6 feet, made birdie. And I was like, okay, when that putt went in, I knew it was the real deal then. And what a finish. It was crazy sitting in the clubhouse for 3 hours, kind of trying to root for people, but not root for them at the same time. It was really, really strange because I've always been a rooter. I've always wanted people to play their best and to see putts go in and then putts miss, and just the roller coaster for 3 hours. And then the playoff, when by the time I teed off, I think the temperature had dropped about 25 degrees, and it was raining from when I finished. And then the putt in the playoff just slid by, and man, I thought it was in. My eyes got really big, thinking, oh, I put the heat right on him with a big putt, and it just slid by the cup. But what a week, and I will always remember it.
It's a great way to finish it out for sure, although you're going to Colorado this week too. You have a 14-year professional golf career, and being a professional golfer affords you a lot of different things, and you've gotten to do a lot. If you look back on the 14 years, and go back to your amateur career as well and growing up in a golfing family, what's the coolest thing that being a professional golfer on any of those tours afforded you, Daniel? What was the coolest experience over your 14-year career?
That's a tough ask for just one, but I would probably, achievement wise, it has to be a third place finish at the PGA Championship, and just the way it all unfolded that whole summer, standing on the 18th tee box at Baltusrol, knowing that a top 4 would get me into the Masters. And that was in 2015. I had missed the Tour Championship by 2 points. Playing in the Masters was always a dream of mine. And in 2015, Harris English made a putt from the back fringe on 18 that bumped me from 30th to 31st. Literally 2 points separated, not strokes, but 2 points.
Wow.
In a season long of 1,000 possible, 2 points. And then standing on that tee, but barely missing out on the Masters in 2015 from that. And then to stand on a tee box in a major championship, knowing that if I make birdie, I go to the Masters the next year. And I hit one of the best drives of my career, right in the middle of the fairway, hit a wood up onto the green and barely missed an eagle putt, tap in birdie. And it's like I could hear Jim Nantz in the back of my mind commentating my shot on number 12 at Augusta. It kind of just played out that dream. So that's got to be that whole string of the PGA Championship and leading into the Masters, making the cut at the Masters, watching Jack and Gary Player hit the honorary tee shot the year that Arnold Palmer had passed away, and the emotion of that. Just that whole story seems like one story for me. And so it's wrapped up in a third place PGA Championship finish and a full week of playing in the Masters.
Yeah, I was going to say 16 and 17 were really good years for you. I mean, you talk about the Open Championship, the U.S. Open, where you got tied for 8th, the PGA Championship, and then in 17 getting to play in the Masters. It's a pretty good, 12 months for you right there, Dan.
Yeah, that when I look back on when you're in the middle of it, it seems like you're never satisfied sometimes. And I would say that is one thing that I do regret, is never really smelling the roses while they were right in front of me. But those years, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 was a pretty incredible ride. And to hear some of the roars at U.S. Opens and PGAs and the Masters makes the hair stand up on the back of your neck. And I'm extremely grateful to now look back at it and realize what I had. And I did. I soaked in a few of the moments for sure. But I'm going to take some time and I'm going to think hard and write down a lot of details and a lot of memories and really be able to soak it in over the next few years.
Well, you got plenty of time to do it, and you should absolutely do that. Before you go, I know he's not in the family, but I think he's kind of an honorary Summerhays. Tony Finau, what do you think the ceiling is for Tony?
Oh, everybody knows that I think Tony has what it takes to be a top 5, top player in the world. He sent me some incredible messages this week, calling me big bro, and that's the biggest compliment that I could ever get from him, is for him to feel like I was a mentor in some ways and a big brother, and because he was for me, and he still is. Tony's slogan is inspire someone. That's his foundation slogan, and he certainly has done that for me, and he will continue to do that for me, and he does that for so many people all across the state, all across the country and the world. And so he is part of the family. We are tied together forever through golf and through friendship. So can't wait to see what he does. He will break that winner's circle here soon. It just shows you how, he's been there so many times. It shows you how difficult it is to win on either tour.
Well, you know that for sure too.
Yeah, and it is. But hats off to him and his career, and I can't wait to continue to watch him.
Well, hats off to you and your career. Congratulations on not just a great run, but a great finish to it. And then go have some fun over in Colorado, then enjoy those kids. And thanks for making me feel old over the weekend too, Dan.
You got it. That's what I'm here for.
Hey,
Thanks
we'll
so
talk
much,
to you.
Phil.
We'll talk to you again soon. Take care of yourself.
Appreciate it.
There you go.